4 degrees. No precipitation has been reported as of 5 p.m. The current time is 5:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The air quality forecast for Tuesday in Orange County is 50, or code green. Air quality is expected to be good, with the primary
The record low was 9, set in 1895. 9! That's all.
Hazard Station WXL 58, operating on frequency 162.55 megahertz.
I didn't catch
this
the
program
high.
originates from the National Weather Service in Raleigh, and is transmitted from an antenna located on the UNCTV tower near Chapel Hill. The station serves the northeast Piedmont of North Carolina. Here is the latest weather synopsis. High pressure will move off the mid-Atlantic region tonight, spreading shallow moisture across the area. Weak low pressure will pass just to our south and east on Tuesday, again building in from the north on Wednesday. Here is the latest National Weather Service forecast. Tonight, partly cloudy this evening. A slight chance of rain and drizzle after midnight. Not as cold. Southeast wind. Chance of rain 20%. Tuesday, partly sunny. A chance of rain and drizzle in the morning. Highs in the upper 50s. South winds around 5 miles on 5 miles. Afternoon.
That shouldn't be happening.
Chance of rain 30. Partly cloudy. Lows in the upper 30s. North winds around 5 miles per hour. Wednesday, partly sunny. Highs around 50. East winds around 5 miles per hour. Wednesday night, mostly cloudy with a 30% of rain. Lows around 40. East winds around 5 miles per hour. Highs around 50. Chance of rain 80%. Thursday night, rain in the evening, then showers likely after midnight. Lows in the upper 30s. Chance of rain 80%. Friday, mostly cloudy. A chance of showers in the morning. Highs in the mid-40s. Chance of rain 40%. Friday night, mostly cloudy. A chance of rain after midnight. Cold with lows in the lower 30s. Chance of rain 30%. Saturday, mostly cloudy. A chance of rain in the morning, then a chance of rain showers in the afternoon. Highs in the lower 40s. Chance of rain 40%. Saturday night, mostly cloudy with a chance of cold with lows in the lower 30s. Chance of precipitation 40%. Sunday through Washington's birthday, partly cloudy. Highs in the lower 40s. Lows in the mid-20s. Here are the 5 p.m. observations for the northeast Piedmont. At the Raleigh-Durham Airport, it was fair. The temperature was 51 degrees, the dew point 33, and the relative humidity 50%. The wind was southeast at 7 miles an hour. The pressure was 30.32 inches and falling. At Burlington, it was fair. The temperature was 53 degrees, the dew point 30, and the relative humidity 41%. The wind was south at 7 miles an hour. The pressure was 30.29 inches and falling. Elsewhere across the state this hour, at Asheville, it was fair, with a temperature of 48. At Charlotte, it was fair, with a temperature of 54. At Green, a temperature of 48. In Roxborough, it was fair, with a temperature of 48. At Lillington, it was fair, with a temperature of 54. At Lewisburg, it was fair, with a temperature of 48. At Fayetteville, it was fair, with a temperature of 55. At the Rocky Mount Wilson Airport, it was mostly cloudy, with a temperature of 50. At Wilmington, it was fair, with a temperature of 52. At Cape Hatteras, it was fair, with a temperature of 46.
Full of blood, you a fraud. The lights and applause.
For 42 February 2021.
Max invasion, like Zion and honey's a diva. Let's strike your
This high was 1 degree below the normal high of 54. The record high is 75 degrees, which was last set in 2019. Today's low temperature was 25 degrees.
75.
This low was 8 degrees below the normal low of 33. The record low is 4 degrees, which was set in 1895. No precipitation fell today, which leaves the monthly total at 1.13 inches.
last
This is
year.
0.24 inches
75
above the
years
normal
ago.
amount of 0.89 inches for February.
4 degrees.
The total
125 years
precipitation
ago.
for the year still stands at 6.55 inches, which is 2.16 inches above normal.
KPT. What's
No
tomorrow?
snow fell today, which brings the monthly total to a trace.
Oh, come on.
The total snowfall for the season since December 1st still stands at 1.6 inches. The normal high temperature for tomorrow is 54 degrees, and the normal low is 33. The record high for tomorrow is 74, which occurred in 1994, and the record low is 9, which occurred in 1895. Sunset
missed
tonight
the
is
high
at 5:50 p.m. Sunrise tomorrow is at 7:08 a.m. At the Rocky Mount Airport, today's high was 54 degrees, and this morning's low was 24 degrees. No precipitation has been reported as of 5 p.m.
Don't listen, please show my colors in yours and not mine. Definitely not yours. We're hard to
The air quality forecast for Tuesday in Orange County is 50 or no.
survive death more than
Air quality
20
is
and
expected
talk
to be good,
crimes.
with the primary pollutant of small
Yeah, you ready to die. Thug like walk 50 before you got shot. Wait for them shots. Ain't afraid of frequency more than 62.55 megahertz. I can't feel
This program
rapper. All my life been a gangster, mobster, fucking monster. Fuck you haters. Niggas want.
Vito Rizzuto was the head of the Montreal Mafia. He was a man with many enemies, but Rizzuto died of natural causes.
The Mafia. A secret order dedicated to Cosa Nostra. This thing of ours.
You violate what you know about this life, and you're gonna burn in hell like the sand is burning in your hands.
Ruckus. Niggas wanna hate, cause I'm getting on now. They wanna shoot me down, click, click, pow, pow. Niggas wanna hate, cause I'm getting on now. They wanna shoot me down, click, click, pow, pow. Niggas wanna hate, cause I'm getting on now. Cause I'm getting on now. Niggas wanna hate, cause I'm getting on now. They wanna shoot me down, click, click, pow, pow.
Things are relatively normal here in our province. But all the reopening comes with a word of warning from Canada's top doctor, Theresa Tam, who says it's crucial that strong measures are kept in place in order to maintain a steady downward trend. I'm Omen Qureshi.
This is 680 News. 2021 appears to be another year of record high house prices. 680's Michelle Mackey's here with the latest forecast from the Toronto Regional Real Estate Board. Michelle.
Yeah, James, it's a record high. Jeff Mercer, chief market analyst for the Toronto Regional Real Estate Board, says the forecasted average home price for 2021 is, get this, $1,025,000.
Market conditions will remain tight enough to see the average selling price crest the $1 million mark for the first time ever.
The reason is twofold: high demand and low supply.
We've seen a lot of demand, specifically for low-rise home types, so detached, semis, and townhomes, but we're also starting to see demand pick up again for condominium apartments as well.
Combined with a low supply, particularly for homes, it creates a competitive market, driving up the prices. So while Stats Can reports a record high population loss of 50,000 in Toronto from July 2019 to July 2020, Mercer says a rebounding economy and renewed population growth post-pandemic will support this housing market trend. Reporting live, I'm Michelle Mackey. Gas prices are next.
Your news.
I want to buy an apartment building, but I'm thinking maybe if you buy both halves of a semi-detached, if you buy both halves of the semi-detached, 1.025 minutes, you need at least 5% down, but you have to have, I think, 20 if you don't want to insure. And insuring it costs another 2% on top, and you have to pass a stress test, which I think is 2% higher than what the interest rate actually is, which makes no sense. It was the people that had to pass the stress test 2, 3, 4 years ago. The numbers changed.
Have more respect.
Vito Rizzuto was the head of the Montreal Mafia. He was a man with many enemies, but Rizzuto died of natural causes.
The Mafia. A secret order dedicated to Cosa Nostra. This thing of ours.
You violate what you know about this life, and you're gonna burn in hell like the sand is burning in your hands.
That's Castle, right? like
ruckus.
like Cosaloma,
Niggas
right?
wanna hate, cause I'm getting on now. They wanna shoot me down, click, click, pow, pow. Niggas wanna hate, cause I'm getting on now. They wanna shoot me down, click, click, pow, pow. Niggas wanna hate, cause I'm getting on now. Cause I'm getting on now. Niggas wanna hate, cause I'm getting on now. They wanna shoot me down, click, click, pow, pow. Have more respect. Feel the energy, rockers. Feel the energy, it's the prophecy. One shot hip hop, get your body rock, and we won't stop. Get your body rock, and we won't stop. Get your body rock. Feel the energy, it's the prophecy. One shot hip hop, get your body rock, and I won't stop. Get your body rock. Wake up early morning, yawning, grinding, regular life's boring, going all in, get your money, so stay strong, turn into believers, good achievers in the studio, going more for the radio, living is spiritual, untouchable, my sound's unforgettable, feel like all's incredible, heroes on my back, plug and attack, opening for big names, getting paid, on a company, turn dreams to reality, streets filthy, still in it, no way out, smoke loud, calm my nerves, medical terms, musical germs, rappers full of germs, spray of which pesticide, lyrical suicide is an exercise, well and alive, come for a ride, don't dive, stay fly, be tough, not from the same cloth, I'm Jackson, your Tito, your G-Money, I'm Nino, a street veteran, underground's best, like KRS, even though I'm blessed with stress, no rest for the weak that I hate being political, don't care if you're lyrical, if the product is selling, is there a miracle, we use it like equity, manipulating your energy, that's your legacy, protect it with your life, like they did Christ, make it right, sell it for the right price, teach better case, to opposite, then mimic, feel the energy, it's a prophecy, worship hip-hop, let your body rock, and we won't stop, let your body rock, and we won't quit, yeah! Feel the energy, it's the prophecy, worship hip-hop, let your body rock, and we won't stop, let your body rock, 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 rock. Feel the energy, it's the prophecy, worship hip-hop, let your body rock, rock, rock. Yeah. It's a life that I live, man. It's a life that I live, man. F-O-T-G. Yeah. Yeah. I speak what I fucking want, I say what I fucking want, Yo, my blood type is straight, kill a nigga running his house. Kidnap a faggot ass nigga who be running his mouth. It's the 7th letter, LLC, and the 11th letter. My twin and arm, we stay in your lane if you know it's better. Can't change cause I'm stuck on some hot shit. Try fly past in your car, we shoot the glass in the cockpit. Then run up on you, see you wall, and leave you stretched out on the concrete like you hugging the floor. I'm a stuck nigga, hair still nappy, hands still baggy, and keep it strapped in case niggas try to get at me. Fuck I look like, shooting fair ones and fist fighting. I smoke too many cigarettes, nigga, I'd rather light him. Cause I ain't got the lungs for that sweaty shit. Hard when I slap down your bitch on some petty shit. Real talk, ain't with the back and forth shit, I let my steel talk. Fully loaded whip, battleship like it's Bismarck. Lock you done did it again, fuck a one shot. You know me, I'd rather hit you and your friend. For that slick talk, you gotta get it 2 times more. Now I don't rep the 6, this ain't 2 plus 4. And I'm all about the war, cause revenge should be so sweet. On the streets with the street sweep.
Street sweep for real. Shit.
The demon is... The demon is a liar. He would like to confuse us. But he will also mix lies with the truth to attack us. The attack is psychological, powerful. So don't listen. Remember that. Do not listen.
This is real life shit, can't change it for an instant. Blood, sweat, and tears, now everyone's against it. Trying to step in our way, man, your ass will get popped. Got homies on every corner, none afraid to get shot. You hear it drop, here comes the end of your life. Hollow points cutting through you like the edge of a knife. It's getting harder to see, step away from the light, cause I'm the devil.
said me never did I warn you. Oh Lord, me tell you. Whoa, 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 whoa. Shot one time, yeah. Shot one time, what? Yo, take him out, bring him out dead. Westwood, hit him in the head. 1 gun, 2 gun, 3 gun, 4, you're 5. It's all about crime. That's who that is. Yo, murder. Who the hell turned up? Them Westwood, put your blanket, them boys, me murder. Me never have peace. We make a black tape, come on. Jump in the black sheep, we run the black. Sucker, keep safe. Niggas can't play, no way. The shit he plays, I keep the sex. No way. That's the black queen, England, and everything the ling a thing. What we bringin', it's the demon and a fiend for the music. Move your please don't abuse it. We just choose it. Still burn the flag, cause I'm on that rebel shit. The level kick, then that's on the ass. Yeah, fast when you drag. To the north, to the south, to the east, to the west. Good, go on. Yeah. Red, what? Ball it down. Ball it down. The president, ball it down. DJ Westwood is going crazy. I turn it on with 5-foot kicks. Hits and Westwood whip. What? The DJ's on the mix. That ain't all that good. Don't skip the dial. My niggas, that's fine. Now you can't get the chance to catch new music in that style. He's scratching, put them black and blue bruises for bruising glasses. So when I tune that radio show, jam, fold it, slam,
tuition. It's the smart move that allows you to take only what you need when you want it. Whether you could use $50,000 or $1.5 million, that cash is available.
We need at least 1.025.
Today at 1-800-NEW-CAPITAL. .ca.
Scoring free cash sure feels like a win. Hi, I'm John from E-Glass. And when you book a windshield replacement with us online, you'll get a $25 e-card to score free gas. At Speedy Glass, you'll also feel like a winner knowing we install high-quality glass with cutting-edge technology. And we'll fully sanitize your car with our unique 30-contact point process. That's
I don't want you touching any of the contacts.
Book your replacement online today at SpeedyGlass.ca.
Speedy Glass Replace.
I'll just drive it without the damn windshield. Fuck you.
These are
Canada,
the filters of the GTA.
This is Black History Month, and 6 City News is telling the stories of those in the Black community who are building a GTA. 6 City's Rhiannon Campbell tells us the story of Karen John, who is the founder of online business hub Black-Owned Toronto.
Honor, change, and impact.
These are the filters of the GTA.
24-year-old Karen John made a New Year's resolution to herself in 2020 to support more Black-owned businesses. That's when John realized finding these businesses proved to be more difficult than she had imagined.
You don't want to advertise certain things sometimes.
That I could use to find Black-owned businesses that were local.
If they assume the guy at the counter just works there, let them assume what they want.
Instagram page was officially born in May of that year and is now expanded to an online website dedicated to showcasing and catering to Black businesses in the city of Toronto and throughout the GTA.
We don't really have a lot of spaces that are just for us, safe spaces for us to get help.
Well, we used to, and we kind of
didn't like that. Owners to get the help that they need for anything.
Black-owned CEO was now jumped out of Instagram and is erected into a community hub located in Parkdale, offering Black business owners and creatives a professional space to create at an affordable rate. John says she hopes the business hub continues to grow and expand to help more Black businesses. I'm Rhiannon Campbell. In the U.S., the second impeachment trial for former U.S.
President. I don't care about that. You see, they want to distract you. Bait and switch. It's like. Like when your kids see something you didn't want them to see, you say, never mind. And they don't let it go. They might shut up, but they don't let it go. Like a dog. Huskies are like that. Don't forget nothing.
marketing up a red. Cha-cha-cha. Now it's time to get live. We're West with the best. Come on. Feel the vibration from the station. The pumping frustration in the nation. The bridge is falling down. It's falling down. It's falling down. The bridge is falling down. You know the house with the wrong nigga brother. You rap up for the mother. Plus, I got the West with the ain't no other. Pull the trigger, shake your lady, pray for your maker. 2 in the heart, a flip in the head. Radio, get your worry. Uncle Westwood, you can get your ass buried. Cause when it's a full moon, he get a chill in his mind. If he loses his mind, look at the shoulder, a nickel plate at night. Your blood clot warrior, watch the imposter. You sweat Westwood and me not know why. Going up from Westwood, you just don't die. Either crazy like sticky or you're marijuana. Marijuana. I want some marijuana.
Man, it's easy on the mic with you now, man. Straight to your heart. You know what the clue says. Yo. We them Zoes, nigga, we don't fuck around. We them Zoes, let them fuck around. Let them fuck around. Yo.
Nigga, what it is? Nigga, what it ain't? Talking all that shit, man, ain't even step in the paint. You niggas be trying to be what you niggas really ain't. Put on all that noise like we driving in the tank. Got a couple of niggas, when they see you, they gon' prank. Hanging with the real steppers when we watch you one thing. They gon' get your ass wet, and I ain't talking about no saints. Got the AK-47 when I shoot it, I don't blink. When I don't really give a fuck, you can totally tough. Try me, I'm gon' bust. I just wanna fuck. I don't want a cup. Y'all what's up? Come with better check before this shit get real. Got the shooters down the dick, jump off through the shit. When I pull up at that nigga squad, hop out like what's the deal? Niggas fuck with me, I'm gon' kill control like a real. I don't really give a fuck, I just shoot him up with a stick and niggas fuck with me, I'm gon' spit him down and let him rip. I'm just riding around town, shooting in 100 rounds. I got them trees, yeah, you know I got them pounds. We them Zoes, nigga, won't around. Like what you saying, Jit? I got the chopper, best believe you gon' be laying, Jit. When I pull up, we gon' leave your family praying, Jit. Got them drinkers, got them choppers, yeah, we spraying shit. Yeah, and you know I got them Mac, niggas in the fucking attic. We can shoot up where you at. Got Zoes down the blow, down the putting in your cap. You be on the go, but when it's here, we gon' attack. We gon' attack. And that's for sure, y'all. You gon' get smacked. You already know, y'all. She fuck with me, cause I'm a soldier. And I keep that 40 tuck like I'm a soldier.
Let me straight soldiers in this shit, man. Fuck y'all niggas out there. Y'all think about some real shit, man. Hell no, y'all fuck niggas, bro. Man, run up on the real soldier. I used to tell you everything.
I'm in the game, so you know I got it stick. Shoot you on shit, my niggas down and let it rock. Run around home, bitch with that bitch on my hip. The next nigga got it hit, you ain't so down to take a trip. This ain't no game, this ain't no game. We be really touching, yeah, we got move off the mid-Atlantic region tonight.
They've just gone what's going to move off the mid-Atlantic?
Low pressure will pass just to our south and east on Tuesday.
Low pressure.
We're already projecting that they're going to need a break in March. Kim Wright, does that make sense to you?
I understand where Andrea's coming from in terms of burnout and all of everybody trying to keep readapting and readapting and readapting. I think that there is also a need for getting those kids back into a routine and sticking to a routine if at all possible. You know, I also think that people need to, and I get the stay-at-home message, and it is important, but the other part of that is get some physical exercise, get some fresh air, go for a walk around your block. You know, we've got some amazing ravines and trails and all sorts of cool neighborhoods in this city. Get some fresh air, do a dance party, whatever you need to do, because I think that we all need a bit of that for our own mental health.
Did you say a dance? What?
All right. Well, let me then finally ask about something else here. Or Michael, did you want to weigh in as to whether or not a March break is indispensable to these young minds?
It's absolutely hard for me to do this, but I'm going to have to agree with Andrew Horvath. As a one-time student, I think absolutely the kids deserve to not be in school. As a progressive conservative, I definitely see an opportunity to turn a generation of youngsters into solid progressive conservative voters.
Wow. Yeah, that's sort of a surprise to me. Like you not wanting to be in school. Go figure. How about this today? The big story, or at least it's a big story. Bitcoin's cracked $44,000. I mean, just a matter of 3 months ago, it was at 11. And Elon Musk has poured $1.5 billion into buying some up. Kim Wright, are you bullish on Bitcoin? I mean, could you ever see a time where maybe something like a big home purchase or a car purchase or somebody wanted to buy from you, wanted to transact in Bitcoin? Would you go along with that?
I'm not there yet, but never say never on these things. I think there's still a lot of things that need to get worked out before. And I've seen the Bitcoin ATMs kicking around the city, and I'm not quite there yet on the regulatory framework. But I was also promised Jetson cars by now, so technology will keep up and catch up at some point.
Okay, well, the Tesla's getting close. I think Elon Musk was saying that he would accept Bitcoin in the purchase of those vehicles going forward. So what do you say to that, Michael Diamond? I mean, how do you feel about Bitcoin? It's gone through.
It's not real. Why did I?
機會再同你傾啊。好嘅，拜拜 Steve。拜拜。好啦，送別咗 Steve 之後咧，預備聽6點鐘新聞啦。
在勇烈士文山高檔住宅區 King East 2震撼發售 ，freehold 陣屋、獨立屋各戶型選擇繁多 ，King Road 夾印交界，環境優越，名校林立，高 YLT Viva 公共交通及404 400高速盡享生活便利，9尺樓高，40、52及61尺3種戶型，陣屋贈送 finish basement， 專屬生活保值升值，立即致電817預訂，享5000蚊租金優惠，詳情請致電4164。
It's funny. There's words and combinations of words you have locally that they don't have other places. They don't use your
bubble anymore. If they want to go to a restaurant and dine and wear a mask and go outside, they're free to do so. So I'm just a little bit surprised that there's not perhaps like a mini bubble operating for the players during the tournament.
No. Oh, fuck off.
Scott Spitz, sports reporter for The Age in Australia, giving us a little taste of what's going on there with the Australian Open. Thank you, Scott.
Thanks very much.
And you're listening to All Things Considered from NPR News.
You do have 2 minutes to kill here.
Support for NPR comes from this station and from Focus Features. Presenting director.
旅行吗？你喜欢乘飞机旅行吗？
Would you just ask me, motherfucker? You hear that?
Okay, so train is 火车 and plane 飞机
Car is 汽车 Bus 公交车
Okay, 汽车 is car and bus is 公交车
Very good. Cam, do you like traveling by plane?
Yes, much more efficient. But how do I ask this question in Chinese?
Well, you can say 你喜欢乘飞机旅行吗？
你喜欢乘飞机旅行吗？
你 is you.
你
喜欢 like to.
喜欢
乘 means to ride, but here it means to take plane.
I see. 乘
And we learned plane just now. It's
飞机
right. 旅行 means traveling.
旅行
吗 is a question mark. 你喜欢乘飞机旅行吗？
你喜欢乘飞机旅行吗？你喜欢乘飞机旅行吗？
不太喜欢。你呢？你喜欢乘飞机旅行吗？
我喜欢坐飞机旅行，比较快。
公交车。
Well, that brings our very first travel show to a close. But before we head out of here, we have to ask our question of the day.
How do you say, do you like traveling by train in Chinese? I will see you tomorrow.
再见。
listening to China Plus Radio, connecting you with China and the world.
Trump's carrots. Because they're orange. Because we want orange.
Now the news. I'm Shane Bigham. A foreign ministry spokesperson says China's pushing for a healthy, stable relationship with the United States, while continuing to safeguard its own sovereignty and interests. Wang Wenbin made the remark.
Is that the same news from last night?
Plane, 火车 plane, 飞机 car, 汽车 bus, 公交车
Well, that brings our very first travel show to a close, but before
Chinese Foreign Minister Wang Yi has called on China and the EU to stay committed to inclusive cooperation, multilateralism, and open dialogue. Wang made the remarks while holding a video conversation with EU Foreign Policy Chief Joseph Borrell. The Chinese Foreign Minister said competition exists between the two sides, but stressed that cooperation You're listening to China Plus Radio, connecting you with. Says polluters must step up their commitments to cutting greenhouse gas emissions ahead of a crucial climate summit in November. Guterres says the UN's central objective this year.
One of these is
going. You're listening to the Beijing Hour, live from the Chinese capital. On today's program, China's pushing for a healthy, stable relationship with the United States while safeguarding its own sovereignty. Announced plans to achieve net zero emissions. This means they will only release
confrontation, mutual respect, and win cooperation with the U.S.
The state councils issued antitrust guidelines on China's internet platform economy. The UN's calling on nations to step up their commitments to cutting greenhouse gas emissions ahead of a crucial climate summit. In business, Volkswagen's new electric SUV. In sports, Tom Brady.
Oh, are you serious?
7 power plant workers trapped in a tunnel after a Himalayan glacier broke off and caused a flash flood. They worked into the night on Monday, using excavators to dig out sludge from the tunnel to reach them. At least 26 people have been confirmed dead and 165 missing after the disaster struck Uttarakhand on Sunday. More than 2,000 members of the military, paramilitary groups, and police have been taking part in the search and rescue.
They said militias, too. They said militias yesterday.
Competitors, but should avoid conflict.
China is committed to developing a relationship featuring no conflict, no confrontation, mutual respect, and win cooperation with the U.S. At the same time, China will continue to firmly safeguard its national sovereignty, security, and development interests.
The spokesperson also says the two sides should work together to focus on cooperation. The Eastern Route began operation in 2013, transferring water from Jiangsu province to areas including Tianjin and Shandong province. Officials say the ambitious project is making it possible to supply potable water to hundreds of millions of people. The final stretch of a high-speed railway extending from of Government Affairs at the U.S.-China Business Council.
I was hoping that you can tell me a bit more about how the trade war has hurt the U.S.
The country's forex market remained stable in January, adding that one of the reasons for the decline is the devaluation of non-U.S. dollar currencies. The dollar index saw an increase thanks to the development of COVID-19 vaccines, as well as the monetary and fiscal policies of major economies. A court in Beijing has accepted an antitrust suit lodged against Chinese internet giant Tencent. Short video platform Douyin is accusing the tech conglomerate of placing restrictions on users when sharing Douyin content on social media apps WeChat and QQ, which it owns. Douyin is the domestic version of Chinese video sharing app TikTok. It says WeChat has been imposing restrictions on its videos since 2018. But Tencent claims that Douyin has illegally been obtaining the personal information of WeChat users by employing tactics that amount to unfair competition. Douyin has denied the counter-allegation.
It really is just totally different from the Biden administration's goals in foreign policy.
provide you with in-depth news and expert analysis, telling the whole story and figure. Bringing you the news you want to know.
Why did they get 5-minute gap in the beginning?
U.S. President Joe Biden foresees extreme competition.
Really?
This is a really interesting question. So I think that the answer has to be both yes and no.
Oh, dear.
To protect the fair market competition. You're listening to Broad Today, a news program with a different perspective. I'm Anna in Beijing. In the coming hour, we'll bring you in-depth analysis of this news and other stories we've been following. Listen to this episode again or to catch up on previous episodes. You can download our podcast by searching Broad Today. U.S. President Joe Biden anticipates the U.S. relation with China will take the form of extreme competition rather than conflict.
We need not have
every American company's operations to Vietnam or to Thailand or to other countries in the region. There isn't a country that can absorb the scale and provide the skilled workers that China provides.
And that was Anna Ashton from the U.S.-China Business Council on China-U.S. relations under the Joe Biden administration. A top business leaders calling for cooperation between China and the U.S. to better tackle global challenges. PricewaterhouseCoopers International Network Chairman Robert Moritz cited the COVID-19 pandemic as an example.
The unfortunate reality is COVID-19 is in front of us. We will be dealing with mutations going forward, just like we have with the flu over the last X number of decades. This will not be the last issue we have. The more our countries can share data, research, lessons learned, and move with the speed and avoid duplication.
Professor of International Studies at Nanjing University. Thanks for joining us, Dr. Zhu.
Thank you.
So how do you assess Biden's remarks that China will face extreme competition from the U.S. but not conflict?
Basically, I see the Biden's.
This is all you're going to talk about for the whole hour, too. At least the Beijing hour will switch it up a bit.
Including climate change, social equality, and vaccinations, all require global cooperation to move forward. Foreign Ministry spokesman Wang Wenbin says China vows to work closer with the World Health Organization and medical experts around the world to conduct research into the COVID-19 pandemic. The spokesperson was answering a question concerning the COVID-19 origin tracing mission of a WHO expert team dispatched to Wuhan, saying consensus has been reached between the two sides.
The nearly 1 month joint efforts of the two sides have laid a good foundation for the global science cooperation on origin tracing. This also attests to China's concrete actions to support the work of WHO and promote the building of a shared community of health for all.
Wang says the origin tracing work on the coronavirus is about obtaining scientific answers and should not be subject to any political interference. He also says China will continue to work closely with the international community to conduct research and address serious global health issues. European officials are looking to China and Russia to fill the gap in their vaccination program. Austrian Chancellor Sebastian Kurz says his country is ready to produce the Chinese vaccines as soon as they're approved by the European Union. Both French President Emmanuel Macron and German Chancellor Angela Merkel have also said they're open to using the vaccines developed by Chinese companies. With more on this, Pan Deng earlier spoke with Professor Jia Daozhong from Peking University's School of International Studies.
I'm surprised by the shifting views from European leaders to Chinese and Russian vaccines.
I'm not surprised. I think the European health authorities are trying to be very, should I say, exploratory. They're under tremendous pressure to get as many dosages of vaccines into stock as possible because of the pressing need. It's somehow becoming a media issue that the name of China and Russia comes in, but really it's the product, the availability of product that's at issue.
So you just mentioned EU leaders are facing a kind of pressure. Do you think it's simply from the urgent need of their own people, or there are some also internal coordination problems there?
Well, that's an issue within the European Union. Obviously, life is very important. Everyone has a responsibility every health authority has a responsibility to protect its own populations. This is a very unprecedented situation. It's understandable.
Let's talk about remarks from the head of the WHO just days ago. He warned the whole world about uneven distribution of vaccines and maybe even vaccine nationalism. So what are the tools at hand can help the world to deal